Shalom, shalom. So it is another Friday in DML and we have the normal weekend goodness. We've got whalemart and, weekend events. And we do also have the schedule for next week. In it, we are going to be having a boss challenge event. But quickly, before we actually delve into the weekly schedule and such, we have a new dragon to get hatching. And this is a very interesting looking egg. But this belongs, of course, to the Cyantail dragon. And we got this dragon for finishing off the current Sigil campaign map. A very, very cute dragon indeed. This shy desert-dwelling dragon comes out at night, waving its beautiful tail around to dance, and then to cover its tracks when morning comes. To see the Cyantail dragon dance is a rare privilege. So, right now we've got the dragon delight, but why can't we have a Cyantail dragon dance? We're getting into Pokemon territory. Dragon dance, we're going to boost all of our stats. I like it. But an Earth, Fire, and Shadow epic. Interesting. I could see this dragon genuinely becoming an epic that for someone that's just unlocked Shadow, that maybe fills out the remaining elements that someone doesn't have on their team. Because, epics are a lot weaker than they used to be because of sigils and just in general being much lower in stats than legendaries or above. But you can make them work. And they can be... Technically the most efficient way to do it is to just use 3 epics and don't swap off of them and then swap to your final endgame team. But there's a lot of nuance to it on top of that. But we got this cute little baby. Look at it! Oh, he's actually adorable. Okay, it's okay though. We're gonna level him up, and he's gonna go over to level 20 here. But definitely cute little baby. I had someone trying to tell me that Dragon City baby dragons are as cute as DML ones, and I just don't see it. I get that Dragon City has its own theme, it has its own look, but I don't know. I wouldn't say that the baby dragons in the game have ever looked cuter overall. Of course, it's subjective. Yeah, subjective opinion will never just be the consensus, but I don't know. I've just always preferred the designs in this game. Otherwise, I'd probably still be playing Dragon City instead of moving on like I did. But I love the colours. I love this dragon. It's actually a really cool dragon. And I'm glad that we got this for doing the sigil, which is basically just completely optional. If you don't want to do the sigil campaign, you don't have to. So that's very cool. So I didn't actually go through this, but of course right now we've got Diesel Delight going on, which is the Dragon Delight event, and in it we have the leaderboard prize being Engine, and we've also got Red Scale being the milestone reward. That is the main thing that I'm looking for here. We've also got season points at 350, which we're going to hit, but getting to 600 is the main thing that I want to do, so that we can actually get a new dragon, because Red Scale, when it was first released, was part of I believe it was a breeding blitz event, and it was very, very difficult. It was not fair whatsoever. So for anyone that wasn't successful in that, we have Red Scale, and of course at 1,000 there's 500 gems. That's near impossible free to play, hence the reason why there's so many of them if you actually hit. So we do have a dinner time event. In this event, we do have the Pilgrim Dragon being available as a reward. Of course, you can get 3 extra gems for 1.6 million, so why not? So, there's that. We've got the whalemart right now, which we've got a premium sigil chest, or you can get up to 3 of them. Relics of Hatching, tempting. We've got 7 legendary enchantment mats for 99 gems, still a little bit overpriced. And then we've got 500 stepping stones, which in exchange for 10 scrolls is pretty good, and VIP in exchange for 10 scrolls, hell yeah dude, that is a super good deal. So realistically, like most of the whalemart, the only ones that are really good value are the first ones that aren't gem deals. So that is whalemart. There is some more stuff going on in game, but do want to get on to the next week's event schedule, because like I said before, we do have a boss challenge coming, and of course we've got Bottomless Dungeon that is going to have the Green Agate Dragon in it. So I do like the fact that they've got this all in text form. I don't know about the emojis. It's like the panting is a little bit weird. But then in the upcoming events, you know, we've got sort of an overview of what to expect. So we've got Otto's Lotto with pieces of Shellhorn, Boss Challenge from the 17th to the 24th, and then Bottomless Dungeon with that Greener Gate from the 17th to the 24th, and apart from that, not a whole lot else, which means it's going to be a relatively quiet week, but Boss Challenge events, if you are playing them super seriously, are very demanding, because you're going to have to be on the game every 2 hours. Yeah, I don't know how. I don't really like them that much. And plus we've got the Dragon of the Week, which is going to be Sprite Dragon, combo being Mercury plus Salamander. So keep that in mind. It's just, you know, I genuinely don't know many people that enjoy the Boss Challenge event because it's so basic, but you just have to be on the game so often that it just doesn't compensate for people actually being asleep, you know? It's like you gotta be on every 2 hours, but a human being has to sleep, which means you're never gonna be completely optimal. It just feels annoying. I don't know, and, you know, I'm seeing more of these things like polls for each current existing event in DML. And like on the forums here we've got, is Dragon Delight event still enjoyable? Or enjoyable? My mistake. And apparently one person out of 18 has said yes. I mean, people always liked to tell me, you know, you're just exaggerating, you know, what, you say that there's problems with these events. I never hear anyone else ever complain. Yeah, maybe you just weren't looking in the right places. I don't really know what to say. It's just sort of like, I have seen it so many times where there's been polls done and people just have not enjoyed events from what we can tell. But then people still defend them. I'm like, I don't know why. Why would you still defend them? But I do get that for a lot of people it is especially worse at the moment because we have just had that Water Ancient event and people either didn't get anything out of it or it pushed them to their wits' end. So now a lot of people are saying that they just can't enjoy anything in DML, which I think is slightly melodramatic because the game is exactly the same as it was a month ago. It's just we had a slightly more pay-to-win major event than usual. Apart from that, the events work exactly the same way. All the other events are pretty much just as demanding as they were before, but now suddenly everyone doesn't like the other events. I think it's what I said all along. People don't actually enjoy playing the DML events close to any of them. They just enjoy getting rewarded. And I think it's an important distinction because, again, you can want to do something because you get decent rewards out of it, like enchantment materials, or you get a cool dragon. But I feel like it's a mistake to conflate that with you enjoying an event, like on a mechanical level. Because I feel like DML just isn't interesting enough. I hope that makes sense. I've said that all along. That is not a new thought for me. I've said it since like 5 years ago that is DML. Like, nothing in the game is very thought-provoking, and the closest that we really get to that now is genuinely sigils. But their implementation was awful, and it still is, because they're just so unbalanced. And again, I wish that there was this game and we were able to use dragons like common dragons and they were still able to compete with, say, legendaries and divines and ancients. I do wish that that was true, so that then people that want to use their tree dragon don't get completely bummed over when they realise that they can only use common sigils and they just will never ever be able to make the dragon that they want good. The whole point of the game is collecting what you want, building the team that you want. Except, if you build the team that you want, it's gonna suck. You know? So you have to pick the strong dragons if you want to compete in the hard leagues in the arena and try and defeat everyone in all these various events. It just kind of sucks. Plus, if you think about it, Dragon Mania Legends was supposed to be a game about acquiring legendary dragons, and now legendaries are, all things considered, pretty weak. Because if you look at the base attack stats of, say, an autumn dragon or a musical dragon, which are IMO, some of the strongest legendaries in the game, and you compare them to some of the ancients, the difference in attack is astounding. Like, it is so much lower. And it is genuinely Dragon Mania Ancient. It's like, what's after Ancient? Dragon Mania Super God? Because we had Divines, which were gods before, but now we've got super gods, or like old versions of gods. It's like, where do we go next? Dinosaurs? Yes, please. Dinosaur gods. If you make those, the next set of dragons, dinosaur dragons, and you know what? I will take back everything I've ever said. Pay to win, whatever. I will deal with it. A pay to win pile of garbage if I get to have a full team of dinosaur dragons. Alright? 100% legit. Only maybe a little bit of sarcasm in there. But no, for real, give me some dinosaur dragons. It would be the most beautiful thing ever. And if I was a child, I would be frothing for it even more so. Anyway, that was a little bit of a tangent while I was doing some of our daily tasks, because, you know, we need season points, and right now, I think we actually, yeah, we just unlocked some VIP tickets. Might as well claim those, because VIP, why not? And I'm really not going too quickly with the Dragon Master Pass this time, because last Dragon Master Pass I did just sit there hatching fire dragon eggs, but I'm not going to buy this pass either because I didn't agree with the fact that they took away the player choice in how people could complete this, so I'm just not going to buy it until they bring the choice back into this. But, you know, it does last like 3 weeks or 30 days, whatever it was, like basically an entire month. And we're at 2.7 at the moment. I know a lot of people have been like, how do I finish it faster? Best way is to breed limited time dragons, but it is kind of luck based if you want to do that. But there's still 23 days left at this point, so I'm not going to rush it too much. The highest milestone I want is 9k, because that million food is worthless. But I am not going to rush it too much, because again, there's no reason really or necessity to do so. But anyway, coming back to Dragon's Delight, you know, you need to be in top 3 to get engine, top 4 to 7 to get 10 enchantment tickets, and between 8 to 10 to get 4 dragon tickets. And can I please just point out to anyone that is a newer player or doesn't really know about this event very much, you have to reach a minimum of 350 points to qualify for the grand prize and to get promoted. The grand prize being engine. Okay? If you don't, by the end of this event, have a score of 350, which is the season points, you cannot win the engine dragon. And now, this would seem obvious to a lot of people, right? It's right there in the event screen. You can read it. You can see that it's there. We know that it's been a thing since this event was implemented, right? That every single Dragon's Delight event, without fail, I always, at the end of it, get at least 20 messages from different people saying, I don't know what happened. I was supposed to get my reward, and it didn't. My game bugged, and now I don't have the dragon, and now customer care isn't responding to me. What could I possibly do? And then you've got someone that's like having a panic attack on the other side, like thinking that the entire world is against them, and, you know, saying everything's garbage, and it just proves that DML is even worse than they believed. And trust me, I'm someone to be critical when we need to be critical with the game. But you have to reach 350 points. If you don't reach 350 points, I should probably reset this, but I'm not going to. But if you don't, you get no grand prize dragon. It doesn't matter if you're number 1 on your leaderboard. Why Does this event in particular have that as a prerequisite? I actually don't really know. Because it is strange that the other events don't do that, but this one just does. But it tells you in the main event page that this is the case. So I hope, if anyone was unaware of this, that at least one person has now gone, wow, you know what? I didn't know that. I didn't know that if I just clicked the event screen button, I could have seen that that's what happens. Right? I'm hoping that just one person has been saved. Oh god, this sucks, whatever. You know, while I'm here, I'm also gonna say the thing I'll always say with Dragon's Delight events. You should never ever trash if you can help it, because trashing is the #1 way that people fail in this event, by far. And what I mean by that is, you know, you'll get people that won't hit the milestone reward of, like, red scale, and they will be very, very angry about it. But this event is an event where you do have to be slightly more on the ball than some of the others in DML. And if you are trashing these items that you literally pay event currency to earn, you're going to stilt your event progress. That is a fact. Just outright. You do. Because you're earning event currency, and every time you trash, you're essentially just getting rid of the event currency that you earned. So, trashing is the main reason that a lot of newer players to these events fail. And do take it with a pinch of salt, because even though that is true, sometimes you will get screwed over in terms of the RNG of items that you get, which is why I suggest that if you ever do get stuck at one point, you try and play out the whole event and take your time, refresh dragons or whatever you need to do to avoid trashing for the whole event, and say you get to the last 12 hours and you've got a lot of event currency saved up and you just can't possibly get rid of it. At that point, it's fine, because you've given it a solid effort. Know what I mean? It's just you get people that don't understand the concept that trashing will just waste them their event currency, and they'll just trash and trash and trash, and then they'll be like, how do you do this event? This event's impossible. But it's because they've been trashing all the time. So, there are scenarios where you may be forced to trash in certain cases, but it is not the ideal thing that you want to do. So, like, right here, this is, like, one of the scenarios where it's like, yeah, we'd probably feed this one over here, and then we'd want to trash. But the thing is, we've got two dragons with one item, and they're both asking for the same one, and it's the same item that this spiky dragon down here is asking for. So really, we just need to refresh this spiky dragon and see what comes out of it. So I normally wouldn't speed up, I'm going to do it for the sake of this, so let's skip this. And this is what comes out of this. So by us doing that refresh, if we'd have done it without spending, of course, spending it on the gem, then that would have opened it up so that we could continue without wasting the existing items in the tubes. So, I guess in a sense, it is a lot like, well, it's almost exactly like the boss challenge in the fact that you have to be coming back really, really frequently to be able to, you know, refresh dragons, see what items they want, and then you can continue with the event. But right here, again, we've got 3 dragons that only want a singular item, and those items are already in the tubes. So if we could just get this bottom left-hand dragon to need a key, then we can go boop, boop, and then that's 2 more dragons cleared without having to get rid of these items. So again, the logical thing to do would be to refresh this guardian and see what the items are. That's the best way to do it without wasting the items in the tubes. But it is time consuming because you've got to wait an hour, come back, recheck it again, hope that it comes out okay. But The slow and steady approach of not wasting will get you higher scores. Of course, the problem with this event is the fact that people do buy event currency as well, so sometimes it's impossible to tell whether a person has a legit score or if they've just spent money on a bundle. Which is the reason why with Dragon's Delight events, I've actually found that if you miss the first reset of the event, and you come in, say, the second to third first reset of the event, I've been thrown into much, much easier brackets every single time. I don't know exactly how their bracketing works, but it seems like if you join late, you get thrown into brackets with other people that also join the event late. I don't think it happens 100% of the time, but every time I've done that, and not been active in the first sort of 1 to 2 resets of a Dragon's Delight event, I've been thrown in a really inactive bracket. And it has helped me to get Dragon's Delight events, or the special dragons in the past. So, if you are going to be super duper sweat, and you want to give yourself the absolute max chance of getting a Dragon's Delight dragon in the future, it's something to keep in mind, because you will end up missing out on the points for those resets, obviously, which is not recommended, because the whole point of events is to log in every reset so that you can get the points. But if you are super sweating for those points, and you really are desperate for that leaderboard dragon, it's something that's probably worth weighing up the odds of. Now, you could join in the first or second reset and then just get put in a pay-to-win bracket anyway, in which case all of your efforts would be for 0. But I am just passing on some known strategical knowledge that has been successful for both myself and other players in the past. And again, just like with the arena video that I did the other day, it's not going to be 100% foolproof. Sometimes you will just get screwed over by a spender, or I guess someone that doesn't want to lose out on the dragon really bad mainly. But on average, from testing and from other things that I've seen with other players do, tends to be that is the case. But I would love if we could do like mass testing in game for these things and see what the actual ratio is. I do feel kind of weird sometimes saying it's like, this has worked for me. But anecdotal evidence can be just that sometimes, in the fact that someone's anecdotal experience can just be factually wrong. As in, how many times have you heard someone claim in a game like, whoa bro, I swear, I bred this legendary pixie dragon using a prairie dragon. No joke. And it's like, no you didn't. That's literally impossible. And then their response will be, no, trust me bro. Like, I really did. I swear I did. There's no way I didn't. And it's like, no, it is legitimately impossible for that to be the case. Because it's weird how human brains work, but sometimes you can be so adamant that something has happened when it just hasn't. Either you dreamed it, or you're mistaking dragon names sometimes, and you conflate things, and then your brain genuinely believes what you're saying. And you can vouch close to on your life that what you're saying is accurate. It's like, you've lived it, you've experienced it, so you can't possibly be wrong. But that's not how the human brain works. And I see this all the time. I see people claim to me, day after day after day, Quacks, I've been trying to breed the dragon of the month, and I have tried to breed it 46 times, and it has not been successful. And it's like, okay, that's believable, but it's only day 3. And you're not a pay-to-win player, so you cannot physically have tried to breed it 46 times. And I've had people before say, no, really, I have bred it 46 times. I'm thinking, what bro, you got Kronos level 2000 over there? Like, you got some special time skip that no one else has access to? Like, But people will swear upon their life, and they have to be before that what they're saying is factual. And it would be so easy to dismiss people like that as being outright trolls sometimes, as in people that are just making stuff up. But they're not. And they're not trying to misinform anyone. But I'm just trying to let you know that sometimes you can be so adamant of something and it just not be true. Which is why I think it's important for certain people to really hear that and understand it. You get certain people that genuinely believe that they're never wrong. Like, I'm accepting of the fact that I have had times where I have claimed things and I have been wrong, and I've been like, you know what, I am so sorry for being completely outright wrong about that. Because it's embarrassing. But there's nothing more embarrassing than you refusing to admit when you're wrong. And it's obvious to everyone else that you refuse to do it because it hurts your ego. That is the worst thing that you can do. And I see it with kids a lot. I used to be like that as well. It's like, even if I knew I was wrong in the middle of a discussion, because I don't really argue with people, I think a lot of the times arguing, the concept of arguing, is genuinely, damn it, we didn't even get 3 stars. But I think it genuinely sometimes comes down to your own perspective of the situation. As in, I can be here, genuinely, not angry, not upset, just explaining something to someone, and then suddenly they'll say to me, stop arguing with me. I'm like, what? You asked me a question and I answered your question. Is that now an argument? I think a lot of people do that, and the younger you are, tends to happen quite a lot. So, you know, I guess what I'm trying to say is, especially with, say, me, who's been playing this game for a very, very long time, I can be wrong. It's just because I've played the game for so long, and all things considered, DML is not a very complicated game. Like, the mechanics in DML and how it all works is not even close to anywhere near as complicated as other games that I've played. So it seems quite simple to me. But some people genuinely struggle with understanding the game, or they haven't been here very long, so some of the basic concepts of the game they don't understand. They don't understand how breeding works, they don't understand RNG, or how to calculate drop rates, or breeding chance, and things like that, and that's quite a lot of people. So, I don't know, I'm not trying to say anything in particular about me, it's more so be accepting of the fact that everyone makes mistakes, and be accepting of the fact that you can be wrong online, and 99% of the time it really doesn't matter if you're wrong. If someone's sitting there giving you factual information that cannot possibly be argued with because it is objective, it's not based on opinion, just admit that you're wrong. I've been seeing it a lot lately in DML where people are trying to claim that their subjective opinion is fact, and that every other person that is giving them factual, objective information is being subjective. It's like, yeah, you're acting like a bit of a hypocrite. And again, people saying these things about events that just aren't true, or, you know, again with Dragon's Delight events, not knowing that you can just click this button, or, you know, go to the rewards and it say this, and then they'll say, no, that it's not my fault, the game's broken. You know, I guess this was just my personal rant. Thinking about some of the things I see and hear, it does get into your brain sometimes. It can get a bit overwhelming, the amount of... Yeah, I'm not going to beat around the bush, sometimes it is stupidity. Because generally, even if someone is claiming something ridiculous, I'll like... For the first couple of comments or so, I do try and be open-minded. It's like, maybe they're tired, maybe they just don't understand this concept, let's try and help them. But then after, like, comment number 3, it's like, yeah, I don't know if I can make excuses for this anymore, you know? Anyway, again, that was my ramble for today to let me unravel about a 1/1,000,000th of the things that I've been told. Of things that just make me slam my head on the desk in shame. But, anywho, for now, that is Friday in DML. We have a new week ahead of us, and, who knows, we could have ancient events, divine events, and God knows what else on the horizon. Let's just hope that the game is going to become less pay-to-win in the future, and more user-accessible. So for now, thank you for joining me, and until next time, I do hope that I can see you then.